Many hours after hopping into the matrix-colored train, Carter awoke to find that it had already stopped. Picnic has gathered his belongings. Experience told him that the conductor or cope would eventually go from train car to train car, looking for extra passengers. It was best if he wasn't caught. He didn't want to end up in a forced home, or worse, reunited with Uncle Sly. He cracked open the metal door to see where Fat had taken him. Outside, a lush green forest stretched like a fuzzy rug all the way to the mountain range in the no far distance. The sun had just fallen behind the horizon, turning the few wispy clouds overhead lovely fantasia as the dome of blue sky darkened into evening. He'd been asleep for a long time. A sign stand along a nearby road said, "Welcome to Mineral Wells." Carter climbed back the ladder to get a better view of the town. From the top of the train car, he could see a quiet community blanked with twinkle lights that were spread out to the north and east of the tracks. Far beyond the grades of streets, a spiraling set of buildings sat on a hill overlooking the town. A glow coming from within the windows as if they were illuminated light of a billion fireflies closer to the train yard. Across the wild gravel lot and just west of the twinkling towns as an enormous foreground were the bright lights of the traveling cars were just beginning to blink on. Colorful sounds came in waves even from here. Carter could hear laughter and music and shrieks of excitement. He was about to hop down when a small red car pulled inside a grave lot. Carter ducked, flattening his body against the roof of the train. It would be bad if anyone reported seeing him. For a moment, Carter thought he was imagining things. People dressed as clowns began to hop out of the tiny red car, one after another, until a dozen different shaped men and women were huddled in a tight group of polkas, dots, and stripes, staring toward a long black train car parked on its own track. Instead of a smile, each of the clowns wore a paint frown on his or her face. Each had a bag in hand. Carter shrugged. He was not a fan of clowns. Whenever he'd seen them in advertisement or books, their fake expression made him think of his uncle. The clowns make their way to a long train car with a giant man's face painted on its side, big and round as if it might just pop off the wall and roll around like a runaway boulder. The face held a creek smile. Either that or it was smirking dastardly grin over his hand were 5 letter spelling. Bozo. The first frown clown unlocked the door of the train car. The rest began to load the bags inside the metal car. From this angle, Carter couldn't see inside. He wasn't sure what they were carrying, but he had a feeling it wasn't something good. He knew the body language of someone who felt little. Their shoulders were hunched and they moved jerkily as if they were about to jump out of their skin. There's no more room, one of the clowns whined. What do we do now? Up to the boss man, another clown said. He'll probably want on moving most of the good-overs to the Grand Old Rose Resort. Let's bolt before coppers showed. Carter wondered if the glorious lit buildings on that far hill were the resort they were talking about. The compound centrally looked grand. Before he knew, all of the front clowns had squeezed back into their impossibly small car and driven away. Carter didn't know what that was about, and honestly, he didn't care. One thing he'd learned growing up on the street was to mind his own business. What he'd care about was police showing up, so Carter climbed down from the room and made his way across the gravel parking lot toward the manic carnival lights, where he knew he could blend into the crowds.